Hi everyone, it's Sonny Steve from Plot 42. Just a quick update today. I always say that and I waffle on. I did one last week, but I forgot to upload it. Then I went and deleted it. So this was for last week. I hope you have a nice Christmas. And this is for this week. I hope you have a nice New Year. But anyway, waffle on what was waffle on last week was I did some beer on the 9th of December. I made some rhubarb and bramble beer. I used 3 pounds of rhubarb and 2 pounds of brambles. And the other ingredients which I've used in the past for the rhubarb beer and the strawberry was 1.5 kilos of Cooper's malt extract, 150 grams of torrefied fillet wheat, 200 grams of marisotte, 500 grams of spray malt, and 500 grams of sugar. And normally I would have put an SO4 yeast in, but I had some yeast in the fridge, what needed using up, which was about maybe a couple of weeks out of date, thinking that'd be alright, liquid juice, so I shoved it in, and that was the Belgium ale yeast, a WLP 550, and no, it didn't work. The brew was as flat as a fart. It took ages and ages to start bloody fermenting. So I had the barrel upstairs in the bedroom, but also the lad complained saying it's bubbling away, but it wasn't getting warm enough upstairs. So I fetched it downstairs, got me fish tank heater out, shoved that in, temperature came up, which was good, and still no life. So I thought, oh, okay, I don't want to throw it away if I can help it. So I looked around, spoke to a couple of people, and Clive, Norfolk Hillbilly, said, well, you might as well do a yeast starter, give it a quick little stir, and create a yeast starter. So I did a yeast starter with the SO4 yeast, and it worked. Put it in, left it for a few days, and it worked. So I was quite chuffed that I managed to salvage the beer. I'm having it seems to be like a running problem I have. Start the beers off alright, the minute I put the yeast in, goes with it tits up. But never mind, I think that's the name of the game, you trial and error. Yeah, so before I put the yeast in, I did notice I had a couple of pieces of rhubarb that had mould on it, had gone white and fluffy. Only the odd one. I took them out and discarded it. I think whilst we're not creating the CO2, they just had oxygen and oxygen was creating the bacteria to create the mould. So anyway, shoved the yeast in, did a pre on my little pre mat, and it started bubbling away. Then I dry hopped it onto 40 grams of Fuggles, left that for a bit longer, and I couldn't get it down any further than 1010. So it started off at 1044, so it's come out at about 4.5%, which isn't too bad. You know what I mean? So I'm happy with that. But, so I've bottled it all. I had a quick check yesterday, which was I bottled it on the 23rd, or the 26th yesterday. So I checked yesterday a week later, and I think I've bloody siphoned a lot of the bloody hops into the bottles, because they're just like one of them bloody glow things, like glow lamps. You pick it up and it's bloody hops floating around everywhere. I'm hoping when I've whacked it into the shed, so I'm hoping the coldness will freeze them all to the bottom. Well, not freeze them, but stick them to the bottom of the bottle. So fingers crossed. The taste, it wasn't that bad. Tasted better, but so I'll see what it's like after a few weeks, and I'll try that one. I did another brew this week, 27th, whenever day that was, Saturday. Mrs. was out for, right, I'll do a brew. But I did this is the Free Floyd Zombie Dust version 3. And I should have stuck with version 2 or version 1. And it was going alright. But with being Yorkshire and a bit tight, well, I wasn't tight with the water. So I should have, I wrote down what I've done. I wanted a bit more out of the beer instead of doing a small batch. So I increased the water a little bit, steeped the grains. I increased the grains by a little bit. So I think like the carapils, I normally put 100 grams in, I put 150 in. I put 100 of crystal in, should be sorry, I put 150 crystal in. That should have been 100 grams. I put 250 grams of Munich malt in, and I should have been 200. So I've increased, I think, by like 50 grams. But what I've used this time was, the first batch I used was Citra hops. The next one was the Nugget hops. And this one, I used some hops that I had left in the freezer. I used some Saz and Goldens. So maybe a strange combination. But I've did the idea what Ant Rogerson done in one of his brews. He put these hops into a bowl, mixed them all up, and just divided them out into hop profiles into each individual bit, which I did. So I've used more hops this time in this brew. So trying to think, I did. It would have been 100 grams of hops I would have used in this zombie, and I've used 175 grams. So I increased the first 5 hop additions by 10 grams each. So I put 20 grams in at the first, then 20 at 15, and 20 at 10. But then 4 to 5 days later, I'll be adding 75 grams instead of 50. So let's see how that one goes. And I did the same again. I filled it all up, whacked in the yeast. It might have been a bit too warm. So I've put the fermented in the conservatory, chilled it down, and fell asleep. Next thing you know, it was morning, and it was the first night we had a massive big frost. I thought, oh bloody hell, she's buggered up again. So I've brought it in room. I left it a day for it to warm up a little bit. No sound again. I thought, oh bollocks, I've done it again. I'm knackered it up. Thought, right, I'll put the heater in. Got my water heater in, sucked that in. Touch wood. It's not bubbling, but getting a big crust on the top, so it is working. Thank God for that. Another one that I've nearly messed up on. But only issue that I've got is when I did a trial sample before I put the last hop addition in, where it done yet, it did taste quite weak, like a watered down version. So I think I used a little bit too much water. So I could have done with putting more water in it to get the temperature down a little bit more and probably chill it down. But I couldn't really put any more water in. I was on the brim as it was. So fingers crossed, when I had this sort of 75 grams of hops in a few days, it will make it taste a little bit better. I think the first zombie I did came out at 6.something%. Last one I think it was like 4.8. And if this one comes down to 1008, it'll be 3.5% ish. You know what I mean? So if it comes any lower, then it'd be around about 4%. Also with a priming sugar. So it's not a bad percentage. I'm not fussed about that. It's more the taste that I'm more concerned about. I'm hoping adding these hops in a bit later on, the taste is a bit better. I know it's the mixture of the 2 hops, the South and the Goldens, and the other ones was obviously more citrusy and that. So fingers crossed, they'll be all right. And last one, I got given some cider to make the other week from the mother-in-law. The wife came over and said, "Oh, mother-in-law wants you to make this for her." Yeast. Okay then. There was no sugar with it. The yeast was out of date. So tried the yeast starter for the second time. I said I didn't work. So I put my own yeast in, put my own sugar in, and I've got to rack it into a secondary now. We'd add the flavouring in and see how it goes. Mother-in-law came on the other day and I said to her, "Bloody hell, give me some bloody cider." No bloody good. Blah blah blah. Saying like it was out of date, the yeast was out of date, no sugar, no yeast. And then she said, "Well, we only want 6 bottles. What do you mean? Well, you can have the rest." And oh, I just want 6 bottles of it. Yeah, but the missus didn't say that. She said, I keep 6 bottles and I give you the rest. No. So it was like a present kind of thing. She couldn't give it to me for Christmas because it was out of date. I thought, bloody hell, I've just been shouting my head off at her, saying that she's been bloody tight ass. And the missus got it all wrong. But, yeah, man. Made a few good purchases today. little instant back in. I don't know if you can see. Wrong end. Another hydrometer. Smash another one. I think that's what it's 7 I've bloody smashed. So I'll make sure I keep this out of arm's length. Make sure I don't smash this bloody thing again. Another thing. No, I'm waffling on it, aren't I? I can't believe it. I waffle on. I wanted, when I make my brews, I siphon everything into. Now I've got my little bottler and my auto siphon. I siphon everything. I've done my brews. It's all ready to bottle. I'll siphon it all out into a king keg. Put the little bottle of tap onto it, then siphon off. I mean, 50 quid for a king keg. It's a bit expensive for a bottling bucket, but it's all he had. So I thought, right, got some gift vouchers at Christmas. I thought, right, I'll go to the brew shop and I'll buy a bottling bucket. I've seen a fermenter on the top shelf and with a hole in it to drill out to put your spigot, I think it's called. But the problem is, there's basically the barrel and the holes up here. I mean, Christ, you've got a lot of space there for like the drug to sit on. I'll have to tilt it up. So I thought, it's cheaper for me to buy another bucket, brewing bucket, and use one of the old ones, than drill a hole at the bottom. And that was my plan. So I think I've got five fermenters now. Bring it home, Mrs. out thinking, I'll drill an hole. I don't want to drill an hole now. I want to keep it as a fermenter. You know what I mean? So I might have to keep using the king keg. But really I need a bottling bucket. But it's being tight again, isn't it? I should just pick one of the barrels up and use it as a bottling bucket. I still could use it as a fermenter anyway, couldn't I? So don't know what, it's just tight. I just don't want to waste it or dig a hole in it and knacker it up. I'll put too much of a bigger hole in it. But I'll let you know on the next one. So anyway, so I've waffled on. Bit too much there, I think. And I better let you crack on and watch any other videos. So I've just seen other videos for the HBW Pro Challenge. And I said Nate has won. He came first. Well done. And well done to all the sponsors and everybody that took part and all the hubs that took part. Got it all organised. And that's it, folks, I think. I think this will be the last one for this year. What's it now? We've only got it tomorrow to go. And that's it. So I'll carry on watching all your videos. Let you carry on watching as well. Thanks for watching, and I wish yourself and your families a happy new year. I hope everything goes alright for you. So thanks again for watching, and thanks for the great support over the 2014, my first brewing year. Much appreciated. Thanks to all the subscribers. I'll send the card out to every single one of you next Christmas. Yeah, right. So like I say, thanks very much everybody. Take care and have a great new year and drink plenty of beer. See you soon, chaps and chapesses.